Hi everybody, and welcome to this moonshot where we're going to be discussing if statements. So just a little bit of background on this moonshot. If you haven't already, do check out the earlier moonshots where we discuss Python variables, Python strings, Python lists, and for loops in Python, because we're going to use all of those techniques in this moonshot. So how do you write programs that can make decisions? As a Python programmer, a lot of your time coding will be spent writing programs that receive and examine information and then determine what action to take based on that information. Python's if statement allows you to write programs that respond in a predetermined way based on current information or conditions within your programs. In this moonshot, we're going to be writing conditional tests, which allow you to check any condition within your programs. But first, this code block is going to give us a little bit of a snippet of what we'll be able to do by the end of this moonshot, or I should say, what you'll be able to do by the end of this moonshot combined with some of the other earlier moonshots. So here at line 1 we have a list. As we know, lists start and close with square brackets. And to this list I've just assigned a random name. So imagine it's an online order. That's the name. Then for order in order 013, do the following. If order is marker, so if the value of order is marker, if the value of the variable order is marker, print the following. Otherwise print order.title. So let's run this code, and don't worry about understanding it too much at the moment because we'll be going through some of it as we move through this moonshot. So let's run this code. There we go. So as you can see, we've looped through our list, paper, pen, notepad, marker. But when our list got to marker, or when our loop got to marker, we added the text item currently out of stock. So in this brief example, our program has responded to the condition that a customer order has one item that is out of stock. Imagine you have an online stationery business and a customer has just placed an order with you for paper, pen, notepad, marker, and highlighter. They reach the checkout of your website and they are asked to review and confirm their order. They see the message that one item is out of stock, and so they select a different item instead. So in this code block, just to summarize I suppose, at line 1 we've created a new variable which is a random customer order number. We then assign a list of items to that variable. At line 3 we define a for loop. At line 4, our loop checks if the current value of order is marker. If it is, then the out of stock message is printed alongside it. If the value is anything other than marker, it is printed out. So once again, if you don't understand how to loop through a list, do jump back into earlier moonshots. So let's now discuss conditional tests. Every if statement needs an expression to be evaluated to true or false. This is called a conditional test. In Python, when an if statement evaluates a true or false, it uses these values to decide whether the code of an if statement should be executed. If a conditional test is true, Python executes the code following the if statement. If the test evaluates a false, Python will ignore the code following the if statement. Let's now discuss how to check for equality. Checking for equality is the act of comparing the current value of a variable to a specific value of interest. For example, the login email address of a website customer. So what do I mean when I say that? When you go to log into a website, you enter your email address. That email address is then compared to the one that website has on file for you in their database. So there's a comparison. So here in this code block, I've assigned the variable email_address the value tony@example.com. The double equal signs here at line 2 means equality. So is the value assigned to the variable email address the same as this value here on the right hand side of the double equal sign? Let's run this code and see what happens. True. And that's because the value tony@example.com is assigned to the variable email address. So email address here, the equality operator, two equal symbols, is the same as tony@example.com. Let's take a look at another example. Here we assign the value tony@example.com to the variable email_address once again. Next at line 2, we check to see if the value inside email_address is the same as frank@example.com. Shift and enter. False, just as we expected. Let's now discuss ignoring case when checking for equality. So when testing for equality in Python, remember that it is case sensitive. Let's take a look at a couple examples. We create a variable, assign that variable the name Tony. Is Tony lowercase t the same as Tony uppercase T? It's not. Just to show you a true example, there we go. So we've all used our email address to log into a website or an application. Sometimes the first initial is automatically capitalized by your computer, so that tony@example.com becomes Tony with a capital T. But the website or application still allows you to log in. It doesn't recognize case sensitivity. How is this? As we have seen in the two examples above, lowercase t is not the same as uppercase T. When creating the login features of a website or application, case should not matter. So let's take a look. Let me scroll down here just to move this code block up. So, email_address, creating a variable at line 1 here. And we're assigning to that variable tony@example.com with a capital T. Now at line 2, we are checking the variable, or we are checking the value inside the variable email_address. This time I've added the lower method. So let's run this and see what we get. True. How is this? In this example, we assigned the capitalized email address tony@example.com to the variable email_address. At line 2, we use Python's lower function to lower any capitalized letter in email address. We then compare the lowercase email address to tony@example.com. The two email addresses match, so Python returns true. The lower function doesn't change the value that was originally in email address, which means that this comparison does not affect the original variable. There are multiple examples where this type of comparison takes place, such as login forms of websites and applications. So we've seen how to check for equality. Now, how do we check for inequality? To do this, we combine an exclamation mark with an equal symbol. In Python, as in many programming languages, the exclamation mark represents not. Let's look at an example. So here, at line 1, I have a variable, my birthday equals November. If my birthday, exclamation mark equals, which means not. If my variable is not March, print, your birthday is not this month. Let's shift and enter. Your birthday is not this month. Why? Because my birthday is November and we're checking against March. In this example, the code at line 3 compares the value of my birthday to the value of March. If these two values do not match, Python returns true and executes the code after the if statement. If the two values were to match, Python would return false and would not run the code following the if statement. In our example, the value of my birthday is not March, and so the print function is executed. Let's talk about numerical comparisons. So let's check for equality, numbers. Here, the variable age is assigned the value 21. Let's check if age is the same as 21. True. We can test to see if two numbers are not equal to each other. So, unlock code has the value 21. If the unlock code is not 40, print incorrect code. Let's hit shift and enter. Incorrect code, 2 attempts remaining. Imagine you have a phone that requires a 2-digit PIN code to unlock it. In the example above, a user has entered the unlock code 21 into the phone. At line 3, the conditional test passes because the value of unlock code is not equal to 40. Because the test passes, the print statement is executed, informing the user that the PIN code entered is incorrect. We can also use mathematical operators in our conditional statements. These operators include less than or equal to, greater than, and greater than or equal to. Let's take a look. Let me scroll down here a little bit. So in the first code block, age equals 18. Then we're asking, is age less than 21? Is the value held in the variable age less than 21? Shift and enter. It is. The next line, is the value held in age less than or equal to 21? It is. The next line, is age greater than 21? False. And the next line, is age greater than or equal to 21? False. There will be times when you need to check several conditions at the same time. For example, you may be writing a program that requires two conditions to be true, username and password, in order to perform an action. There may be times when you have two conditions and only one needs to be true to perform an action. Let's discuss how we can use the word and to check multiple conditions. To check if two conditions are both true at the same time, we use the keyword and. This keyword allows us to combine two conditional tests. If each test passes, then the overall expression will return true. If either test fails, or if both tests fail, then the expression will return false. Let's take a look. Okay, another couple of age variables here. Age 1 equals 16 and age 2 equals 18. So is age 1 greater than or equal to 18 and is age 2 greater than or equal to 18? Let's shift and enter. False. Why is that? In this code example, we define two age variables. At line 4, we check if both ages are 18 or older. As age 1 is not greater than or equal to 18, the overall expression returns false. Let's take a look at another example. Age 1 equals 19 and age 2 equals 20. Let's hit shift and enter. True. In this example, we have another two age variables. This time, both variables are over 18. The expression on line 4 checks if age 1 and age 2 are greater than or equal to 18. As both variables are, the expression returns true. We can also use the keyword or to check multiple conditions. This keyword will allow an expression to return true when either one or both tests pass. An or expression will fail only when both individual tests fail. Let's take a look. Here, age 1 equals 20 and age 2 equals 17. Let's hit shift and enter. True. Again, we have two age variables. Our test at line 4 checks to see if age 1 or age 2 is greater than or equal to 18. As only one test passes, our expression returns true. Let's look at two failing tests. So here we have another two age variables. Both are below 18. Shift and enter. Both have failed. So our expression returns failed. Let's discuss now how we can check if a value is in a list. We've looked at lists quite a bit during previous moonshots. Let's revisit them again and this time learn how to check if a value is in a list. Why would this be necessary? Well, you could have a website that allows customers to sign up with a username. All current usernames are stored on a list, and to prevent duplication, you want to check if a new username already exists. To perform this check, we use the keyword in. So here we have a code block with a list of 3 names, and that list is assigned to the variable customers. Now at line 2, is the string T Staunton in customers? Hit shift and enter. It is. Next, same list again. This time we're checking, is Frank001 in customers? False. So in these two examples, we use the in keyword to tell Python to scan the lists, customers, and check if T Staunton or Frank001 is in them. As you can see in the example code above, our first sample returns true, and our second example returns false. Finally, in this moonshot, let's check if a value is not in a list. How can we do this? Let's take a look. Line 1, we have a list not for sale. That list has 3 cars. For sale at line 2, new variable, for sale, we assign the value grey car. So, if the variable for sale is not in the list not for sale, print out the following string. Let's hit shift and enter. Grey car, this car is in stock. In this example, if the value of for_sale is not in the list not for sale, Python returns true and executes the print statement. So far, we've been using conditional tests to make our programs return true or false, depending on the state of the program, or the condition of the program. Another term for conditional test is Boolean expressions. A Boolean value can be true or false. Boolean values are an efficient way to track the state of a program or a particular condition that is of importance to your program. and you may want to use that condition or that state to perform an action later on. Okay guys, that's it for this moonshot. I hope it's given you a flavour of the power of if statements. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out in the discussion section of this moonshot, and do feel free to check out the Beginner's Python course. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.